Welcome to Brock11, where we're not just talking about culture, we're building it by design. I'm Laura Brocklehurst, CEO of Brock11, and your guide on this journey towards a transformative workplace environment. Today, we're going to tackle a vital topic for anyone involved in hiring, managing, or leading teams. And the topic's the impact of emotional intelligence in the workplace. So, whether you're looking to build a thriving, engaged team or avoid some common pitfalls, understanding EQ is going to be pretty crucial. So, you've probably heard advice to hire character, train for skill, or maybe it sounded something like hire for attitude, coach for competence, but there's so much more to it. Today, we're going to add a critical element, and we're going to take a deep dive into why it's important to promote for emotional intelligence. So let's explore why this makes a difference and what happens when it's overlooked. Promoting people with a high EQ, it's going to lead to some pretty positive outcomes. Number one, your engagement's going to soar because employees who feel understood and valued, they become more engaged. They contribute enthusiastically to team goals, and they're just excited to work and contribute. Number two, your teamwork's going to thrive. So, high EQ leaders excel at building relationships, making collaboration seamless and enjoyable. And number three, trust deepens. And this is very important. Leaders who show empathy create an environment where trust is able to flourish. They make everyone feel secure and respected. So let's contrast on that a minute, and let's talk about promoting somebody with a low EQ and what you might see whenever that happens. Number one, your engagement's going to decline because your employees feel unappreciated, they feel disconnected. It leads to disengagement and reduced morale. Your teamwork's going to suffer because low EQ leaders often fail to foster strong relationships. They foster superficial relationships because the relationships are out of fear. These are not strong relationships. So this results in poor communication, very frequent conflicts, and trust erodes. And because a lack of empathy and understanding will always erode trust, it creates a tense and insecure work environment. So let's talk about what does a high EQ leader look like. And here are some key traits. The first is they have a high level of self-awareness. They understand their own emotions and how they impact others. So as an example, a high EQ manager might notice they're a little stressed and take a moment to calm down before they address their team. They've got a high level of empathy. They tune into others' feelings. So when a team member is struggling, they offer support and understanding, not just a deadline extension. It's more of a relationship piece of it, and they've got real empathy for the people that work for them, and they have effective communication. They convey ideas clearly and listen actively. So imagine a leader who listens more than they speak in meetings, valuing team input. That is rare. That the people around the table, around the leader, are able to speak more than the leader in a meeting. But it is something to look for whenever you're looking for those high EQ leaders. So conversely, here's what low EQ looks like. There's a lack of self-awareness. A leader with low EQ that isn't very self-aware, they're going to react harshly to feedback without realizing how it affects the team morale. So picture a manager who snaps at an employee for a mistake, not seeing the demotivating impact that has with that knee-jerk snap reaction. They're insensitive to others. They often miss or they disregard emotional cues because they're just not tuned into it. So, as an example, ignoring a team member's burnout signs because they're solely focused on deadlines. And number three, they've got poor communication. They talk over people, they misinterpret feedback. This will lead to misunderstandings. So, like a leader who will dismiss team concerns without a second thought, creating frustration or resentment. So, maybe team members are giving feedback that, hey, you know what, we think we've got a problem here, or something needs to be addressed. And a leader with a low EQ is going to dismiss that because they're only seeing things through their lens. And that must be how it is. That's the reality. When you promote leaders with a low EQ, you risk high turnover because your employees are going to be more likely to leave when they feel, unvalued or misunderstood. You're going to have very weak collaboration, and it's going to be very disjointed amongst your team members and amongst departments because people operate in survival mode. So the weak collaboration is the poor relationship building skills. It's going to just result in disjointed teamwork and frequent disputes. And it creates a toxic work culture. A lack of empathy and trust can lead to toxic work environments where fear and tension are going to always prevail. But let's bring it back to the positives, because that's what we're here to talk about. Promoting for high EQ brings so many benefits. It's going to increase your retention. Employees are going to stay longer when they feel appreciated and understood. It's going to improve collaboration because high EQ leaders, they cultivate a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. And I use the word spirit in every sense because high EQ leaders, they've got an aura about them and a spirit around them that people just really gravitate to. And it creates a caring work environment they create a culture of empathy and understanding, making work more fulfilling and enjoyable. So to sum it up, who should you promote? These are the types of people you're going to look for. The people that inspire purpose. They motivate others with a very clear vision. They listen to understand. They value and actively seek out different perspectives, not just their own. And they coach with compassion. They support their team's development with empathy and care. So, your great leaders, they're going to bring out the best in others. They empower their team to achieve their potential. They're going to navigate challenges calmly. So, a clear head always prevails. They're going to navigate those challenges calmly. They handle stress with grace and they lead by example. And they create psychological safety. And we talked in a previous video blog about psychological safety. And I would encourage you to revisit that because this is going to really connect the dots, because psychological safety is a telltale sign of a leader that has a very high IQ. They ensure everyone feels safe to speak up and share ideas. And promoting for EQ, it isn't just a strategy for keeping your best employees. It's about creating a team of loyal advocates and innovative problem solvers who are excited about the future of the organization. By making the human choice and prioritizing emotional intelligence, your best people are going to feel valued and they're going to thrive. So, next time you're considering a promotion, remember to hire for attitude, coach for competence and skill, and promote for EQ. And before we wrap up, I want to share how Brock11 can support your organization in promoting emotional intelligent leaders. We offer advanced assessments that are designed to evaluate emotional intelligence very comprehensively. These assessments provide actionable insights into your team's EQ levels. They identify strengths and areas for development. And by leveraging our assessments, you can make informed promotion decisions, foster a supportive culture, and ensure that your leaders are equipped to inspire and engage effectively. This is also a great tool to learn who's on your bench, who are your emerging leaders. So, folks, when you think about the future of your company, understanding what your bench looks like from an emotional intelligence standpoint is very important. So invest in emotional intelligence and you're going to see your team and your business thrive. That's a wrap on today's topic, the impact of emotional intelligence in the workplace. If you've enjoyed this video blog, be sure to share it and visit our website at www.brock11.net for more insightful blog topics. And until next time, keep building your culture by design.